Court versus Theophilus Smith.
Hey, Judge. Court Officer, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, be here for the record.
Theophilus Smith.
Okay, Mr. Childers and I approach briefly.
Right.
I'm just sign here for the waiver.
Waiving on both cases. All right, Mr. Smith, you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination in these matters?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offenses alleged were committed and that you committed them.
Yes.
Understand you'll not have that hearing and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes.
We'll also waive the right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendants bound over to circuit court on the single count in both cases.
Thank you, Judge. We waive formal reading and stand mute.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for
March 24th at 1:30 with Judge Conkey.
why don't you give me
Oh. Okay.
May 12th? May 12th, 2026, 1:30 before Judge Cook.
Thank you, Judge. If I might.
As to bond.
Thank you, Judge. Obviously, I've spoken to the people on this matter and to my client. My understanding is Mr. Smith has already had things set up through my office for if he should be released. He has worked with our social worker, Jules. He's also been in contact with Ms. Stewart in the county jail. He has CMH set up. He has housing set up. What I'm asking the court would consider releasing him on a personal bond and give Mr. Smith the opportunity to show to this court and to the people that he can be compliant on his pretrial date, should that May day, and I think that might help this matter resolved, and he can show that he can stay out of trouble, Judge.
Any response from the people?
No, nothing be happy.
Gonna be a stay out of trouble if I let you out?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're working with CMH, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I let you out, Theophilus, you gotta make sure you're working with them.
I will, sir.
You'll do that for me?
Yes, sir.
I'll grant the motion for a bond reduction. I'll reduce the defendant's bond to a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. He's to comply with CMH requirement, his CMH program.
Thank you very much, Judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Face.
All right. Okay. That's all. Judge.
Court calls case People versus Cedric Green. No relation.
Ready, Judge. Torshell Feaster, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Green. If he hasn't already done so, Mr. Blaine, please take your name for the record.
Mr. Green, you gotta unmute. You're on a phone, so hit *6. Cedric Green, you gotta unmute. You need to hit *6 on your phone. Oh,
Can you hear me now, sir?
yes, I can hear you. State your name.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Cedric Demetrius Green.
All right.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Green was in custody. We bonded out before we had a chance to have a good conversation. I've been asking for an adjournment so that we can connect with Mr. Green, try to figure out what to do in this case.
March 26, 2026, 9 a.m.
March, what day?
Bond will continue.
What's the date, though?
Today or the date I adjourned it to?
The date that you adjourned it to?
March 26.
Okay,
2006.
I have I got a letter. See, the days got mixed up because they gave me a letter at the shelter, and I see Garwood on the 26th at 9.
You mean Judge Garwood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you need another day.
So is it March 26th?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. You got to see Judge Garwood on March 26th, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to adjourn these matters to April 2nd.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will be there and I will be present.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I will be in touch with you, Mr. Feaster. Thank you, sir.
I'll be in touch with you. Court calls the case, People versus Thomas Vasher. All 4 cases.
Ready, Judge Torshell, please, assist.
Oh, no, I was gonna wait.
Sorry, Judge. On behalf of Mr. Vasher, please state your name for the record.
Thomas Basher.
Yes, you may approach.
Thank you.
It's creeping up here. You're what?
And call. You gotta follow court's orders.
Thanks. Oh, all right,
I called because I called her.
Yes. Once you really, they told you not to. Okay, sit tight. Ready, Judge.
all right. Seeking an adjournment of these.
Yes, Judge. Could we please have a couple of adjournment?
During this March 26, 2026, 9 a.m.
And your defendant responds.
May.
Your Honor, at this point, I'm going to be asking for the defendant's phone privileges and texting privileges to be revoked. I have 23 calls to the victim's number from this pin, the latest call being yesterday. In these calls, the victim is mentioned by name. They talk about the charges that he had court today. So at this point, I'm going to be asking for phone privileges and texting to be revoked.
Can you respond?
No, Judge.
Defendant's phone and text privilege hereby revoked pending here.
Thank you, Judge. We'll go get the call. That's
Yeah, I mean, he's a fan. Okay, well, once. Court calls case, People versus Zariah Griffin Bills.
Your Honor, Raymond for the people. That's Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Ms. Griffin Bills. Ms. Griffin Bills, can you please state your name for the record? That's all I have.
Yeah.
All right. I have before me a plea form. Is that what we're doing today?
That is the plan, Your Honor.
All right. Plea form indicates that the defendant is going to be pleading count 2, added count 2 of assault and battery, the 93-day offense. On the plea to that charge, count 1 will be dismissed. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement.
That's correct, Your Honor. That is our understanding as well, Your Honor. Is that your understanding?
Yep.
Okay, I have her sworn.
Right here. These about to give will be the true vote. So we got.
Yes.
State your name, please.
Sorry, Griffin Bell.
Chairman, this is court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of assault and or assault and battery. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that? Understand also that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Garwood in the 15th district.
Yes.
Do I want to plead guilty
Yes.
to that charge? How do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Signed in advice of rank or had one cut or had one signed on your behalf. All right. Do you have any questions regarding those rights? Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yeah.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will? Yes? And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense? On dated December 1st, 2025, at the location of 114 East William Street, City of Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. What do you do on that date involving a Mr. McKeon that makes you think that you're guilty?
I got into an argument with him and he grabbed me and I hit him. Multiple times.
Pardon?
I got into an argument.
Grabbed you and then you hit him?
And you hit him multiple times?
Yeah.
And that was a force that was greater than his?
No, but yes.
No, but what? Well,
I mean, yeah.
I don't know that I can accept it.
I understand, Your Honor.
So what do you want me to do?
Your Honor, I would ask that if you're willing to either pass this matter so I might have an opportunity to speak with her or give us a new date.
So your birthday?
It's St. Patrick's Day next week.
Your birthday? Oh, it's saying,
I'm Irish.
claiming the Irish thing.
I'm Irish.
Nope, won't work. I'll give you a new date. Probable cause conference, I'll adjourn this out to March 26, 2026, 9 a.m. All right.
All right, thank
Her
you.
bond will continue. Thank you. Laquita Thompson.
And Assistant Public Defender Nick Bukovich on behalf of Ms. Thompson, who's now approaching. Can you please state your name for the record?
Laquita Thompson.
All right. What are we doing? You're seeking an adjournment?
Yes, I am seeking an adjournment, Your Honor. And I'm prepared to address the corrections report.
Pardon?
I said there was a note for community corrections reports. I'm prepared to address that.
And on February 22nd, she blew numbers. Three other 3 blows, then she took an EEG the next day. It came back.
Yes, Your Honor. In addressing the alleged violation, my client does indicate he does admit to drinking on that 22nd date. It was unfortunately she did lose a friend of 24 years, someone she worked for and has known for a very long time. And unfortunately, as part of the grieving process, she does admit she did have a moment of weakness and there was a mistake and she did drink. She is working very hard on maintaining the good strides she has made in her life. She currently works 2 jobs. One where she works approximately 12-hour shifts on her feet at a manufacturing factory. She has done community service. She attends AA meetings. I actually do have AA sign-in sheet that I can provide to the court and the prosecution. She attends them both in person when she's able to and on Zoom when her work schedule does not allow her to make in-person dates. I do want to note prior to being placed on the prior to being placed on the sober link, she did have no violations on the Scram tether. She had to be placed on the sober link due to issues with her ankle, and that was why at the previous PCC date you allowed her to switch over to the sober link. I do note I do understand there are several late tests. However, I do want to note several of those tests she did test within 10 minutes after the time frame occurred. I think 7 of those total. And for all of those late tests, she was negative. She does, as I indicated, work on a manufacturing line. So often, sometimes there are moments where she cannot physically step away from that line due to the ongoing working process, as it would be obviously a process issue for the process of work, but also for safety down the line. She has indicated that she has reached out to her supervising agent to discuss these matters when she does have a late test. She is actually working on obtaining a house and was actually supposed to assign on that house today. She is doing a lot of work to improve her life, continue doing what she must. And I think it is clear that she is attempting to do with everything within her power to comply with the bond conditions. So at this time, Your Honor, I would be requesting that she have a second chance and that her PR bond be maintained.
Any response to the people?
My concern, Your Honor, is that we kind of was on a tether and we agreed to change her to a sober link. Now she has these issues.
Yep.
And it was right about the graciousness of the court to modify those conditions. So, here as I can see, there's an option.
What's that option? Lock me up.
I will adjourn the probable cause conference to March 19, 2026, 9 a.m. Defendants bond time, having it
Oh my God.
both defendants remanded.
I have 2 jobs. I have 2 jobs. Oh my God.
Court does call the case. People versus Benny Sims Jr.
Assistant Public Defender Davy Lebo from Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims, could you take your hands at your backs and tell the court your name?
Miss Benny Allen Sims Jr.
All right. And he's waiving.
Yes, no, we reached an agreement for a resolution in circuit court.
Sir, you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes, sir.
You understand that that's a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed in which you committed it.
Yes, sir.
You understand you'll not have that hearing. You'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes, sir.
You will also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendants bound over to circuit court on a single count.
Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the information. We waive formal reading, stand mute, and ask for a pretrial date.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for May 4th, 2026, 1:30
Thank you.
for Judge Hamoud.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And bond in this matter will continue. Mr. Sims, thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that you showed up bright and early, right?
Sure.
We realized that you weren't in the right, well, you were here early.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay up out there, stay up out of jail, man. I'm doing good.
Trying to stay out of jail?
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Going back, I ain't going back.
So I